Hello and welcome to tonight's SBC News. The first training session in line with the result-based management framework in the public service was launched at the Guy Morel Institute today. All public sector services will undergo the training. The educational sector is the first of 8 sectors to undergo the training, which will be held in 3 stages. The Chief Secretary, Sheila Muhyiddin, says that the process will take some time. Only 10 minutes through today's sitting, the National Assembly members of United Seychelles left the chamber in solidarity walkout in protest of the Speaker's decision to ask one of their colleagues to leave. Speaker Roger Mancienne asked the proportional member of United Seychelles, Johan Lozé, to leave the chamber. It's unclear as to what this member did or said, but the other members went on a walkout in solidarity. This followed a decision by the Speaker on the question of a point of privilege which the leader of the opposition, Sébastien Pélé, had put forward in yesterday's sitting concerning a request for Minister Anthony Derjac to submit to the Assembly a copy of the contract between the government and Trevisory. Trevisory is a system used to take note of information about people entering Seychelles. Financial consumers are expected to get more protection under a new financial consumer protection law. The law will come into force after the President of the Republic assents to the Financial Consumer Protection Bill that the National Assembly has approved today. Presenting the bill, the Minister responsible for Finance, Nadi Hassan, says it gives the Central Bank and the Financial Services Authorities a larger mandate to supervise the conduct of financial institutions towards consumers accessing their products and services. He also stressed that consumers too must be responsible, as there will be avenues for them to put forward their grievances concerning the financial products and services. The Human Rights Commission has expressed unease over a decision to compel Seychellois citizens overseas to carry out health, immigration and customs formalities before travelling to Seychelles. It followed the signing of a 10-year contract in March last year between Seychelles and a Swiss-based company, Trevisory Border Security, which provides a platform online for such formalities before travelling here.
For the Human Rights Commission, there is absolutely no doubt that the requirement for a Seychellois traveller to obtain a formal authorization through an electronic platform coordinated by a foreign company before being permitted to enter the country may go very much against the Constitution of Seychelles. The agreement with Trevisory Border Security requires every Seychellois traveller to pay €6 for its service, whereby they have to complete various online health, immigration and customs formalities before entering Seychelles. At the time the report was released, the Commission gave the Ministry of Internal Affairs 7 days to accept or reject the report. It said if the Ministry accepts that there is no limitation, restriction and qualification on the rights of Seychellois citizens to enter Seychelles, it should meet with the Commission to discuss the way forward. If the Ministry rejects the report, the Commission will reserve its right to take the matter to court.
The Human Rights Commission has also released 3 other reports pertaining to various reviews it has conducted on numerous legislations and government policies. In terms of the government's decision to suspend the 13-month salary in 2020 and 2021, the Human Rights Commission is of the view that in line with various constitutional and international human rights obligations, the suspension of the 13th month salary should be a temporary measure, and that workers who qualify for the 13th month salary will need to be back paid in full for the 2 years that they were not paid the money. Following investigations that the Human Rights Commission conducted at the Perseverance police station, it found that there were several issues with the cells and facilities, at the station, which make them inappropriate for the detention of vulnerable groups such as women and children, especially for a period longer than 24 hours. In another report, the Human Rights Commission identified several provisions under the immigration decree which were not in conformity with the Constitution. The Meteorological Authority has been accredited with ISO 9001 to 2015 standard for its quality management system. This is for the provision of meteorological services to the aviation industry. The ISO certificate will last for 4 years, but the Met Authority will undergo yearly audits for compliance. The CEO of the Meteorology Authority, Vincent Amélie, says that the authority was already providing good information, but now it is certified to be meeting the standard.
Since 1971, we were providing this service since we moved to the airport, but it does not mean that it was to the international standard. But now with this ISO, everything is to the standard, and we believe that now, since we have been ISO certified, we will play a very big role to ensure that the airport, international airport, is safe and can also help to bring some revenue for the country, because giving good information will help the airline to plan better, and therefore definitely there will be this advantage of economic as well.
Officers from departments and sectors which work closely with children were presented with the findings on the data management situation analysis in the social sector. This is part of a project by the Institute of Early Childhood Development, which started in 2015 with the health sector.
The data on social affairs sector was collected by consultant Edward Benstrong with the help of community workers. The findings pointed out the strengths and weaknesses of the social department. Mr. Benstrong highlighted that the department gathers a lot of information but needs to continue its effort on shifting to digitalizing them. Social affairs have been aware of such weaknesses for a while now. The Director of Social Services, Beryl Laboudalon, says most social workers now have a computer and the department will need a full-time officer to work on their database. Whereas the CEO of Institute of Early Childhood Development, Shirley Chopi, says having a good database will ensure the development of children and offer tailored help. The next step for the social sector is to develop indicators that will be in harmony with the international standards.
And that's it for now. We'll be back with the day's news in Creole in just under an hour's time. Good evening.